What's going on, guys? It's been a little while since we've made a video talking about our setup, talking about how we've done. The year's almost over. Not everything went our way today, so I just figured I'd put a smile on my face by making a video. We've tried to fix the problem. We hope to have fixed the problem, but system update. If you notice in our older videos, we were using a 55-gallon drum. A lot of people do this. They just use a little PVC pipe, one size bigger than the exterior side of your hose, and they call it a drop stick. Just boop, drop it in the bottom, and it sucks from the bottom. Now, in doing that, I'd say there's pros and cons. The cons that we had was when we used the bleach barrel, we don't have a forklift. I'd say most people probably don't just have a forklift at home. So it turned into unloading everything on the back end of the trailer, dropping the tailgate, get rid of the old one, which the old one, you know, at this point doesn't weigh much, roll a new one on. Same thing, take the lid off, drop stick. But the biggest con that we had was we didn't have a safe way of measuring an exact quantity of bleach in each drum. You know, over time you just get good at the shake and bake. You see how much is in the drum just based on how it feels when you shake it. You know, you maybe shine a flashlight in the top, see a shadow outside, and you could ballpark. And we did that for a while, but finally, if you walk around this side, you can see where it's got a meter on the side here, you know, engraved in it, and it's a translucent barrel. So from this point forward, we don't have to just guess anymore. We can see what we've got. We can get a better idea for what jobs are taking how much bleach, and so forth. But you make your way back around this way. We also started using Southern Draw. We were using some surfactant from a pressure washing store here local. It was about the same price as this. I think including the shipping, this was roughly $130, $125, something like that. And in my opinion, and Timmy's opinion, we both think it was every bit worth it. I think it was about $100 for 4 gallons of the local stuff that we were buying, or it was 5 gallons maybe. It's $125 including shipping for 4 of these. Now, I know that sounds steep, but one of these turns into 16 gallons when you mix it in our soap tank. You can see there, you dilute it down. Now, we still get through, I'd say every 4 to 5 house washes, depending on how dirty, we go through a gallon of that. Now, $25 for 4 or 5 house washes, that's pretty safe payout. When you run it in the soap tank here, this line becomes neon. I mean, if you pop the lid, let's see if this one's open already. Nah, well, we'll just break the seal. You can see it's really, really thick, and I hope the camera picks up. It's almost glowingly neon. So it's a really good way for us to tell when we're spraying our solution when we're getting our solution. You know, it's not a guess or a touch and smell anymore. Really beneficial, glad we picked it up. The next thing we did, you noticed in our older videos, we had pretty much this same exact hose reel, but we upgraded. It was an 1/8 inch thick angle iron, and this is a 1/4 inch thick. So this is sturdy. I mean, I welded the last one, me and my grandfather. First time I ever welded anything, to say the least. Wasn't the best job. So had a good friend, Brent Johnson. If you happen to watch this video, thank you. But he's a welder. He works here in town locally and started doing some side work. You can check out some of the welds that he did. He put all this together. The angle iron was used angle iron, but I mean, he got it, I believe, from his work. So I wasn't complaining about that. It just required labor to put together. Really, really sturdy. It's not going anywhere. Another thing we picked up since our last video, blend manifold. We had one already. I think it was from Stealth. This one is once again from Southeast Softwash. If y'all don't watch any of their videos, you're missing out. He's pretty much giving you the free how-to book on how to do everything in the business. Now, best way to learn is to go out there and do it yourself, but he definitely gets you started. 8 gallon a minute unit. 150, 160 hours, something like that on it since we got it.
Yeah, 150.
So nothing crazy on the year, I think we're close to 60 jobs for the year. I know that's some personal insight, but who cares? It did well. We had one problem out of it, and it was the day we got it. A couple things were not put together correctly from the guys we got it from. I say the guys, it was a parts store here, and had a couple leaks. Got that fixed. I don't think we've had a problem with it since.
No.
We've changed the oil on it, you know, maintained it regularly. So that's probably got a lot to do with it. But other than that, I think one other thing we did, we went 300 feet on each power washing line. A lot of people go 200. I don't know of anybody who really goes 250. But we decided to go 300. We didn't really notice much of a pressure difference. But what we did notice was we weren't having to move the trailer around as much. We rarely had to do that with 250, but every now and then we'd get to some of these bigger properties. There's a lot of mountains in the area. Some of the wealthier people in the neighborhood live on those mountains. Big properties, and it's just a lot of moving around, a lot of lefts and rights. So we up to 300 feet of hose. Don't regret it. I will say
we also switched, to a hose that, as you can see, pretty flexible. You know, not like, you know, your Softwash hose, but in comparison to what you can get, this was a lot easier to manage.
There is a word for that. I can't remember the word, but there's a difference. It either comes with it or it doesn't. Get it to come with it, because I promise you, you know, the knots, the tangles, the kinks almost never happen.
The knots are so much easier.
Yeah, but with 300 feet, we have a hard time on these hose reels because these are 200-foot hose reels. So we're stretching them to their limit for sure. But it just gets tangled up and knotted every now and then in the reel itself, you know, too much slack. But it's still worth having 300 feet. The last thing that we did since the last video we made, we were having leaks coming out of the clamp that we had here. Now you may ask, what, you got a clamp here now? Well, there was a piece that this gun would drop in and you clamp that down. What that allows you to do is after you drain it, you can take the gun off, put it back in your toolbox, or whatever you want to do with it. But eliminating that eliminated the leaks that we were getting. It was dripping all over my pants, getting all over my hand. So we just thought, you know what, it wasn't leaking before we put that on, let's just take it back off and see what we get out of it. For the most part, it holds up pretty well. I mean, these stainless steel pieces, it's almost time to, you know, get some new ones, but not leaking. The J-rod that we use, it leaks more than these pieces do. And, you know, off tangent, but funny story about this, we were on a job and our lead tech had a, you know, spur of the moment decision, moved quick, knocked the gun off, broke the tip, and I made him go get us a new one. Worked him like a dog that day. But yeah, we put this one together for, I don't know, 20 bucks, something like that. And it's done us great ever since. So that's about all I can think of, man. Everything else on the trailer's the same. Last thing I guess we did was put a 24-foot extension ladder. No more needing to go back to the shop to get it. We just decided, you know, no point in carrying around the smaller one. Let's just keep the big one on us. So I appreciate y'all watching the video, guys. Timmy, anything I'm forgetting?
One more thing on the Southern Drawl here. In comparison to what we were buying in town, you're not smelling a lot of bleach with this right here.
Great point.
You're definitely not. You can get a headache smelling that bleach. I mean, we know that. Garrett knows that well. Yeah. And, you know, taking that scent out of there helps the customer, helps you out a little bit, and it's worth every penny. It really is. We're going to get that other, he's got another flavor
Southern
that's
Slang.
Yeah, called Southern Slang, that we're going to give a little shot after we get done with these.
Yeah,
but they've done
well. I
well.
will say, while we're talking about the soap, the only thing I didn't like about this, at certain times in the sunlight, this neon accent kind of blends in with the sun. So that's really the only reason we were going to try the Southern Slang. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still a neon green. I would fire it off, but we don't have any water in the tank. Just watch his videos on it. I mean, you'll see it firsthand. But with red, you'll never see red in the sky. Well, hopefully we don't ever see red in the sky. Be a bad day if we do. But other than that, it's a great product. We like everything we bought from them so far. So, all right, guys, I appreciate it. If I do happen to get the boys at Southeast to check one of our videos out eventually, we appreciate everything that y'all showed in our videos. Thank you to all of our customers. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. and happy holiday and happy new year.